What's going on, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to another episode of the Crew Review Show. In today's episode, we're taking a look at the latest installment in the DCU Wonder Woman. Starring Gal Gadot and Chris Pine and directed by Patty Jenkins, Wonder Woman takes place during World War II.
I thought it was one.
Oh, yeah, it is one. I'm sorry. It's just so many similarities with Captain America.
You know, damn it.
She even had a fucking shield.
Damn it, when these great wars.
But I digress. Rex, you and I actually did not see this together.
No, we saw this completely separate at separate times with different people.
Yeah, look at that.
See, we don't always see every movie together, despite those vicious rumors.
Yeah, word. All right, so what were your thoughts going into this?
You already know. When they said Wonder Woman, DC, I was like, this movie has no hope. I had no high hopes for this movie at all. Based on DC's previous movies, based on, the fact that a lot of times whenever they do female-based superheroes, it's always terrible. We're talking about, back when they did I forgot what year, 86 or something like that.
For Supergirl? I believe Supergirl was either 86 or 89.
Yeah, something like that.
And then in 2003, 2003, Catwoman.
Yep.
And then 2005, Elektra.
Exactly. So I was like, this movie is destined to fail before it even starts. And I was pleasantly surprised. I was so happy by the end of this movie. Like, wow. Even my girlfriend sat there and was just like, I can't believe I like this movie. And it wasn't even over yet.
I mean, going into this, for the little I saw of her in Dawn of Justice, which I thought was, for the amount we got, was great. Because it was not little enough to go and feel like, oh, God, they really didn't give us anything. But it wasn't enough to go and be like, Jesus Christ. Is this her movie too?
Yeah, pretty much.
But no, I thought it was great. I had high hopes going in, and to me, the expectations I had, this really did live up to the expectations that I had. All right, I mean, I don't have share the same expectations as everyone else, but yeah.
Yeah, they set the bar low.
How low can you go? All right, so on to the next segment, one of my favorites. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start it off. The good. What were your goods?
Like I said, man, this defied all the odds. It was a really badass movie, and one of the things I liked about it was, it paid homage to some of the older some of the older Superman movies, and it was little, but they didn't throw it in your face, so it was a little. Oh yeah, I get that. That's pretty clever on how they did it, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it too much, but also they had this movie has so much character development in it. It was insane. The character development was insane. The one thing I'll even say about this was this movie didn't have
shaky cam.
You have no idea. Everybody knows me and shaky cam do not get along. This movie had no shaky cam, but I digress. Thank you, because I'm pretty sure I would have forgotten that, because that's how smooth this movie was. The thing I'll say is they didn't have to have a female lead and make it feel like, oh, she's tougher than a man because she's a female, and throw it all in your face that she's a female or anything like that. She did things in the movie because that's what had to be done. She wasn't like, oh, Chris Pine's character, Steve Trevor. Yeah. You don't want to do this? Oh, it's because you're a coward or you're this or that too much. It was, he was like, we can't go there because you will die. He didn't know that she damn near was invincible. So you never felt talked down to or bad or, guilt tripped for being a man. That's one thing I'll say. Like, I expected that in this movie, and it didn't do that.
Well, I agree. I mean, my good. Well, you said most of my good, but
I'm sorry.
It's okay. But I still have one thing to say. Being an action film buff, I love the action film and how campy they can be. The action sequences in this film were done very well. It kept me very entertained, and it wasn't like overly done in which like, okay, I get it. Bullets bounce off the bracelets, yes. But no, I thought it was done pretty well. On to the next part, the bad. What were your bads?
Okay, so spoiler alert. There was a scene where if anybody's familiar with Wonder Woman, this really won't be that much of a spoiler. Chris Pine's character, Steve Trevor, he had simply, everybody knows he was going to die. And when he died, I mean, I've never seen Gal Gadot emote so much for in a movie before. And to me, it seemed so forced. It seemed so overacted. I mean, I understand it was supposed to be emotionally invested, but it just felt overacted. I mean, and also with being overacted and forced, the guy who played Ares, David Truis. How do you pronounce his name?
No, I think it's Trevis.
Trevis.
Travis. Something like that.
Whatever. He, I know he was supposed to be turncoat, and you weren't supposed to see him being Ares coming in and everything like that. But the scenes that he was in felt very unnecessary on most of the scenes. There were a couple that were okay. This is very key, but a lot of his scenes were very unnecessary to me.
Okay.
Other than that,
there were my bads, and before I continue, these are more of just I had a little difficulties trying to find a bad that that were differ from what you felt. So my bads are more of just like a little bit nitpickish.
Look,
well, because the things that kind of like all right, that kind of bugged me. So instead, for this part and this part only, I will rename it from the bad to the bugging. First things first. For a film called Wonder Woman, they don't fucking call her Wonder Woman.
Yeah, actually,
they never call her Wonder. Oh, look, it's Wonder Woman.
You're right.
Hell, they call Superman. Superman
Man of Steel. Did, and
hell, even in Batman v Superman, they refer to him at least as the Bat.
Yeah.
All right. In the original story to this, to me, if you're not familiar with the original story to Wonder Woman, the origin story, when Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor meet up and she goes back to America with him, the reason and purpose for her outfit was a red top, eagle on the bra, and a Star Spangled skirt. This was to show peace. It's supposed to instill peace. That, oh look, I am from a foreign country, but I mean no harm. Instead, we get jolly old England.
Look, they didn't have time to leave, go to America, come back to Europe to stop the. That would have been that. Look, this is a pretty
Dennis
long
Ferrer
movie.
From Snatch, London, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London. But I digress.
That's why I leave them at home.
But yeah, that's pretty much, those are some things that bugged me. On to the ugly.
Boop. The ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I really only had one thing for the ugly, okay? And it was the final fight scene with Ares, okay?
Final battle.
Wrong.
Couldn't resist.
I mean, I know that the whole battle, it was supposed to be super fights and all of that, and so there was some, epic CG and everything like that, which I really didn't mind. The use of CG was pretty good, because you were emotionally invested in this movie. The big thing was if you saw him in the movie, he was some scrawny. He really wasn't that big of a guy. He didn't look like he looked like he was like 6'3", 180 pounds. Soaking wet, it was 182 pounds. But when he goes to throw on, for the final fight, this guy, like, I don't know what kind of steroids he took. Same thing as Brock Lesnar or something, because he jacked up to like.
Shut up! Aries makes decisions.
He jacked up to about 250, 300 pounds, and I know it wasn't all armor. Don't sit there and lie to me, but that's the ugly I have. That's probably me just, again, like you said, nitpicking. So.
Okay, this is my turn. In a scene in the alleyway where they get jumped by Chubbs and his gang.
Is that their casting name? Is like Chubbs and gang?
Thug number 187 for all I know. When all of a sudden when they go to shoot Steve once and then she stops with the bracelet, it's like they're all shooting 2 at a time. You ever catch that?
Yeah.
As if no one wants to break the pattern.
Like,
if one of them were to go and shoot a third fucking time, like, God damn it! Dan, it's supposed to go Brian, Steve, Eric, then I, then you. Oh, shit. Fuck. My bad, man. My bad. Sorry. Then the other thing is, they whip ass in the alleyway. She. Alright. Wonder Woman whips ass in the alleyway, goes to Chubbs. Chubbs, she trips him with the lasso. Chubbs takes a cyanide pill and kills himself. And they're like, oh, he's dead. Well, I guess I'm not interrogating anyone. There's fucking other people behind you. You just kicked out a horde of guys. Interrogate one of them.
But see, Chubbs was the head guy.
Fuck
Those
Chubbs.
were just lackeys, okay? Everybody knows lackeys don't know anything.
But that's pretty much my ugly. All right, so this brings us on to final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Yes,
okay,
thoughts that are final.
Thoughts that are final?
Thoughts that are final.
All right. So thoughts that are final. This movie has given me just a little glimmer of hope. A little. Because after what Dawn of Justice did and Man of Steel and the DCU was just falling flat on its face. So this gave me a little glimmer, and they're showing that what they can actually do when they do it right. When you take out parts of characters' origins that are not necessary, or make fun of it a little bit, or because there were little jokes here and there, but they did so many things right, and I'm scared that they're gonna be like, hey, we did this right, let's fuck it up on the next one. So see this, watch this, own this, because this is like the one gem in a pile of turds. I have no idea where I was going with that other than that.
I'll take it. Okay, this is by far the most entertained I have been with the entire DCEU. While I do love Man of Steel and defend it, and while I really did enjoy the Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice story, and then there's, Suicide Squad.
Excited for Suicide Squad 2?
Oh, sorry, I misspoke. Academy Award-winning Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I know that French thing on there. Yeah.
This one I feel stands above the rest. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's definitely a good treat. It shows at times, in the right hands of the right director, a good origin story can be done. I like to think of it as it's a good movie. It's a good superhero movie. Not especially the fact because it's a woman. It's the first attempt at a Wonder Woman movie, and it executed perfectly.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Green Lantern. You know what you did. But I digress.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's
All right.
amazing.
Well, boys and girls, that's our show. I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch our little episode here. Do us all a favor, hit that like and subscribe button down there, or as Rex would tell you, smash it. Leave us a comment section. Leave us a comment in the comment section if you agree with us, disagree with us, or if any other films you want us to check out. I've been DJ. You can find me on DJ of the Crew Review at Instagram and Twitter. This man over here has been Rex, and where can they find you?
You guys can always find me at Rex Crew Review on Instagram and Twitters.
And you can find the show at the Crew Review Show on Instagram and Twitter, as well as YouTube. Thank you. Till next time.
Wonder Woman! Go home, Wonder Woman. You're
One
drunk.
could say the case could not take the weight of how awesome the movie was. The stand could not take the weight.
That's just
That's reaching.
terrible jokes.